in a world whose hosts cried out for a replacement to Thunderdome. The Top 10 is proud to bring you The Realist.
The Realist.
Welcome, everybody, to this week's edition of The Realist.
Realist.
Realist. That's right. One of the new shows that we do here in place of Thunderdome. This is, I think, our fourth one, would you say? Maybe? Third or fourth? Fifth?
Something like that, maybe fifth.
Yeah, maybe fifth. All right. And this one's interesting. And, if you guys have listened to The Realist before, here from the Top 10 show, first of all, I am John Roca.
I am Matt Nost.
You guys know The Realist is basically the people who are patrons submit a topic. One gets chosen. They submit a topic. The other two people get chosen, and they send their lists in. Matt, who won this week, and who are the people sending in their lists?
The individual chosen to pick topic was, I would say, infamous around these parts.
Oh.
Which is Mark Menchaca.
Oh, Menchaca.
One of the Los Tres Menchacas.
Yeah, Los Tres Menchacas.
The three down in Texas somewhere, San Antonio, Houston area,
Wow.
I guess.
Okay.
That's as much as I know, gentlemen.
That's much
I
you need to
apologize.
know. It's much you need to know.
One of them in the fantasy football league, I don't know who it was, had a Don Quixote reference because I called them. Like, I don't know, it sounds like a Don Quixote, man from La Mancha type of thing.
Man from Menchaca?
Or Menchaca, yeah.
Menchaca Khan. I like that. All right, so he picked the topic?
He picked the topic.
Which was?
According to Mr. Menchaca, he would like... he wanted something Oscar-themed, so let's go with top 10 Best Picture winners.
Ooh, that is tough.
We sent it off. We got two people, Jeremy Metz and Joseph Birtwistle, or Joe, according to his email.
Joe Birtwistle.
Joe Birtwistle.
I like that. You ever hang out? You ever seen Joe Birtwistle?
I want to say he's coming to the London show.
Oh.
So maybe he's more Cockney, like, I am Joe Birtwistle. I'm doing like...
Oh, clean your chimney. Joe Birtwistle.
Just do it in Michael Caine.
That's good. I like that.
Well, I can't remember who it was. It's an English comic, and he said, just say my cocaine. And that's how he says his name, my cocaine.
That's great, actually.
Yeah, and you're like, yeah, it works every time. That's 100%. That is effective. So maybe it's Joseph Birtwistle.
You're just supposed to blow the bloody doors off, Joe. So when you what is it? When you become a patron of the Top 10 show, you can do that at www.patreon.com/the top10 there, and you go, was it $20 and above? Is that what it is?
Yeah, and then you get the weekly old school show that we put up on Wednesdays.
Yep.
And the shout outs, and you get all the other perks below it. You just don't get to choose a topic once a month.
Yeah.
And even though we've been in the midst of all this live show lining up, et cetera, we're still working on things for the Patreon to incentivize it for you out there. Just, one thing at a time.
Yeah.
We figured out travel to an international country and got work visas. Cut us a little bit of slack. We're doing what we can here. We're just two guys.
That's right. And,
but it is thanks to everybody on all our patrons, because without them, we wouldn't be able to do the live shows, offer the T-shirts, do everything else.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So it's thanks to you that we've managed to grow and can come visit you in your cities now and do the live shows. Chicago, we're very close to announcing something.
Chicago.
For April 11th, still shooting for that.
They finally stepped up, huh? Oh, that's good.
They did.
Okay.
They did. We
That's
got
good.
others in the bag that look like they've stepped up.
Oh, good. I like it. Let's
Yeah.
go to Houston. Let's go to San Antonio.
Houston and San Antonio have done some due diligence.
I like it.
Started shopping for us at certain theaters.
Oh.
Getting head counts.
Nice.
I know. That's called initiative.
People are excited to hear what we got to say and see us.
It's Texas. It's class.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know,
All
I've
class.
been saying that for a year. All class across Texas.
I'll clean your chimney. That's the best I've got. That's the best I've got for Texas.
Yeah, them working on something for San Diego. Working on something for
nice. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, we got ideas in the hopper, but in the interim, we're working on stuff for the Patreon. So thank you to everybody that has donated, to Jeremy, to Joseph, to Mark this week, and to everybody else. Let's jump right in, shall we?
Shall we? Yeah, absolutely.
And Jeremy Metz just starts right off. No preamble, nothing.
Wow,
Right
incredible.
on the list.
Okay.
I like that about him. Brevity. Get to the fucking point.
Well, unfortunately, Joe Burtwhistle is not, but go ahead.
A Tale of Two Cities.
Yeah,
my friend.
basically.
Number 10, Amadeus.
Oh,
an
nice
excellent
choice. Let me see if it's on this list. I forget I have to look here. The answer is no. Okay. Great choice. I love Amadeus.
All right. He says, so many amazing scenes and sets. One thing I would never say about this movie is too many notes. I said, co-composer, what
Well
would you say?
said.
Sounds like too many notes. They all just jump on it. Actually, it wasn't the composer. It was because that's Salieri.
It was the emperor. As the emperor said,
Yeah,
too many
but
notes.
one of his underlings, his sycophantic whatever, the head of this department and this department and this department.
It was Charles. The actor is Charles Kay. It was the
Was
older. It was the guy who was like, "You need to show me the subjects of your opera." He was the guy with the glasses and the white hair.
Yeah.
And he's like, "I think you'd better."
Because he wanted a French opera.
Right.
Not something that's crass in the German.
Exactly,
He
in
cut
the
himself
German.
off before he, offends the king.
Yeah.
Such a weird, interesting little portrait of potentially what royal life was like.
Yeah. That's what I loved about the movie is even though it was highfalutin with all these people in their powdered wigs and their clothes, it was still human beings acting petty with their egos and their need to defend their station and
Yes.
all of that being completely upset by this, giggling, sniveling kid with an incredibly God-given ability to create the most beautiful music ever heard by man. And that is such great about the film. It makes it so relatable and universal and fun to watch.
John is glowing. right
Yeah,
now.
I mean,
not even kidding.
this
Smile
is-
on your face the whole time doing that full description.
My dad and I, this is our favorite film. I mean,
Dude.
we would watch it hours on
Preaching
end.
to the choir.
Yeah.
I've already rewatched it 2018. At some point, I'll watch it again in 2019.
Yeah.
I check in with it about once a year and a half. I go back. It's just because I can start at any point.
Yeah.
Any point, and I'm sucked right into that movie.
Yeah. Agreed.
All
right.
right. So his number 9. Let's see if we have our first pun situation.
Okay.
Casablanca.
Yes, punt.
Okay. Now your yawning makes me want to sneeze for some reason.
I
That's a weird
apologize.
reaction.
I apologize. Yeah.
Number 8 is No Country for Old Men.
Ooh, okay, that's the number 7 on this list.
Okay.
Are we good to go talk about it?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
So he says for No Country, this was the first Academy Awards I ever watched, and I was so surprised my favorite movie that decade won Best Picture.
Yeah, I bet.
Sure.
Okay. Joe says, probably my favorite film to frequently revisit from this list, despite not deserving to win the statue for Best Picture in 2008. Wow. What do you think? This film is so efficient in its storytelling, not to mention the great characters that surround Sugar, Moss, and Bell. It makes this film eminently rewatchable and an instant classic from the Coen brothers. Coen
That's right.
does,
So it didn't win.
right. It didn't?
Isn't that what you just said?
No, he said he didn't think it deserved to win.
Oh.
Right. So, Joe,
I was like, what? It didn't win?
I've got a problem. I don't like it. It won Best Picture. Coen Brothers does not have an H in it, Joe, just for future reference.
Get your shit together, Joe.
I mean, come on. I don't know how they say it over there across the pond, Joe, but we don't put an H in this one.
Yeah, they spell things a little bit differently and it means the same thing.
Like a tire with a Y.
It's nonsense.
It's weird.
It's nonsense.
Yeah. What's wrong with you? The
Dude,
King's English.
Watching British baking show,
Oh, yeah.
the abbreviations that people use apparently in everyday conversation, like expiry for an expiration date. It's like, what? Expiry? And we're adults.
Yeah.
Okay. And there was other, like, they just randomly shorten a word and it's got a Y at the end.
Yeah. We can't say shit, though, because we do stuff all the time. We shorten words.
Yeah.
What's the sitch?
Yeah.
For situation. Like we do it all the time in a different way. Yeah.
I still don't, I mean, I know what Bob's your uncle means, but where the fuck does that come from?
Yeah, right.
Bob's your uncle. Oh, yeah, okay. It's,
I like 6s and 7s. I'm all 6s and 7s.
I don't know if I've heard that one.
What, really?
Yeah.
That's when you're confused. Like you just can't get it right. You're all 6s and 7s
yeah.
because you're fumbling around.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that one.
That is a good one.
I've used that one on the Premier League talk when we do it with Jack on Collider. It's a fun thing.
Would you study up on your English slang just to make sure the kids knew you were hip?
No, sometimes if it comes up naturally, I'll do it, but not usually because Jack is talking his English slang when he's.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
So yeah.
I'm sure you pick. I watched a video of where Kevin Garnett was talking about the time that Austin Rivers challenged him one-on-one when Austin was in high school.
Oh.
And he's like, just the whole time using words I've never heard. Like, was I going to go straight dragon on him? And it kept saying dragon and dragon, and Tony Allen sitting right next to him, and he's like, hey, breathe that fire. And you're like, I mean, it's pretty cool.
It's great.
I'll give it to you.
Yeah.
I don't know if everybody can pull it off, KG.
Yeah.
It fits the ferocity of your nature, at least as I've been led to believe, but everybody kind of, corroborates that story.
Yes, they do. No one goes, Kevin's a chill dude.
Yeah, exactly.
I love playing with him.
He's not intense, dialed in, focused.
Very great. He chaperoned my daughter's first birthday. He was great. All right, that was your number 8.
That was my 8.
Do we jump down to mine, number 10 then?
Yeah.
Okay, well, first I've got to read the note here. A quick note to the top 10. Feel free to read on air if you'd like. Thank you, Joe. Mr. Nose to Mr. Roca, first and foremost, props to an incredible show and partnership that I cannot wait to see and hopefully meet you both in London. Hello. Having listened to the show since your first actors turned directors list, I can only thank you both for the years of insightful and hilarious shows. Secondly, this was an impossible list to create, having heard how difficult you find making some of your lists, namely 70s with Fetterman and the best of the 2000s. I cannot wait to hear what you think of this list and one day get to check out your show on this particular topic. I think my tastes and age, I'm 24, may be pivotal in explaining some of the choices and omissions on this list, but it comes down to certain films that I feel encapsulate the Best Picture Oscar and films that I will frequently rewatch. Thanks and see you gents soon, Joseph. That's a wonderful letter.
It is, but the caveat being I'm 24.
Yeah.
So there's certain things that you've only had so much time to go back to find things.
Yeah.
So the older I get, there's still like, oh, I've never seen such and such, and I'll watch it.
True. Look, I watched Citizen Kane at 16, so don't give me that I'm too young shit. All right, number 10.
That's fine.
I'm just giving him shit.
But had you watched all the other Oscar caliber movies that came out?
Not by that point, no.
Yeah.
But at some point down the road, I did. Number 10, The Departed. And, is that on your list?
1 second.
The Departed.
No, I do not see it.
Okay, narrowly beating the honorable mentions to number 10. This is such an enjoyable ensemble to watch with great casting and brilliant moments throughout. I definitely prefer some of the other Best Picture winners, but you have to recognize and show appreciation to Scorsese, much like the Academy did, and the film as a whole. Yeah?
Yeah, The Departed, I mean, I know it's beloved.
It is.
I like it. I just don't go back for it all that. I've watched it once for the show. I saw it when it came out.
Yeah.
I think it's good. It just... Of Scorsese's, I'll go back and watch others of Scorsese because now it's part of his canon.
Absolutely.
I'll definitely watch Wolf of Wall Street before I watch that.
Ooh.
Yeah. The more I've seen that because it was on repeat on HBO or some shit. And I've seen it enough times now where like, you know what? It's got a lot of charm.
Yeah, it does.
It lets its absurdity kind of bubble over in so many different places that it all seems very natural, even though it's cartoonish at times.
Yeah,
especially his friends, his cohorts. They all just seem like, stereotype this, stereotype that, but it works in the ensemble.
Yeah.
I'm just saying for other Scorsese's, Goodfellas, obviously.
Yeah.
But I mean, I like Departed. It's a damn good movie.
I think there's something about Departed that feels a little too slick, and so it doesn't like call you to come back and watch it over and over and over again. Okay. And I respect people that do. Like he's 24, so for him, it's something that calls him to watch over and over again.
Came out at a formative time more than likely, and was just getting into it, and it's a hell of a drama.
It is.
And if you haven't seen much from him or in that genre, it's an excellent version. I just prefer others.
Yeah. And that's fair. All right, number 9 is One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
1 second. Nope.
All right. 1975. I forget. I usually think it's earlier than that. Tied for my favorite Nicholson performance with The Shining. This film is so fun to watch and yet so crushing all at once. With an amazing crew to back up Jack and Louise's fight for supremacy, it's a film that would grip almost anyone. It is not one that I return to often, but having the Big Five proves why this film is a must-see. Did it deserve the Oscar over Jaws? I don't think so, but we would be interested to know what you guys think. It's tough because for me, the artistic element of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest from Milos Forman is incredible.
Yeah.
He also directed Amadeus, Milos Forman, so I think it deserved the Oscar, but Jaws could give it a run for its money. It's an incredibly well-done film by Spielberg.
It's one of those, you appreciate the artistic merit, but at the same time, from Jaws, it's such a pivotal movie for so many different reasons.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, obviously, it sets up the idea of a blockbuster. Somewhere you can come up with this. Jaws was the first. And then it became what it is now, where we have universes and all that stuff. So you can applaud it for that.
Yeah.
But the suspense and horror elements of it are excellent on top of that. And with I think most people my age and younger probably learned about the Indianapolis from this fucking movie.
Yeah.
And then went to investigate
yeah,
afterwards.
yeah.
And I think one kid became so fascinated with it and realized that, went and fought for the survivors of it and whatnot thereafter. Like, it so moved him. There might be a statue somewhere for them for their loss.
Yeah.
It's just it's one of those. You hear about it in Robert Shaw's acting performance in that scene, just sucks you into the doll's eyes.
The doll's eyes.
Just glass and dead and lifeless. Like, oh Jesus,
Rolls
really?
over. Yeah. It's the best. It's the best. I love Jaws to pieces, man.
It is. It's a tough discussion.
And it's a great action adventure that isn't a stereotypical action adventure. You know, it starts out with this idea of this unknown entity destroying or killing things, and the fact that it pulls no punches by killing that child early in the movie in a gruesome way. You're like, this is a whole nother ball game. Like, it pulls no punches in showing you the price that he pays for listening to the mayor. Like, and so there's a lot of blood on everybody's hands.
Yeah, there's
throughout
nobody's
this whole
innocent.
movie. Yeah, exactly, which is so great about it. All right, number 8 on this list is from 1991. It is The Silence of the Lambs.
That is a punch.
Okay, all right.
Easy peasy.
What's your number 7?
7 is Bridge on the River Kwai.
Not on this list. All right.
Not on that list. Yeah. Literally, the description from Jeremy is just try and keep from whistling.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
there
true.
you go. Caught me, Jeremy.
Yeah, it's an excellent movie. I don't know if it would make my top 10, but at the same time, I can understand why it would. It's a great war period piece.
Yeah.
And they create a lived-in world. It feels real, especially for the time. Now they do like a grittier type of fury, aspect to it, where it's all grays and the cinematography and whatnot. And it's this kind of brooding and depressing film, which war is.
Yeah.
Fully understanding of that.
I love this. You got this, the English approach to things, very proper, like follow the rules. Like, he's so overwhelmed by what the Japanese head of the camp is doing because it's so against the rules. It's so against the laws of war that by the end, he almost becomes a victim of Stockholm Syndrome in that he thinks doing this is the best way to get along with everybody because that's just the proper British thing to do.
Yeah.
And then when he realizes what he's done, that's a great moment in the movie, man. It's just a fantastic moment and what it leads to, So, but yeah, such a great film. If you haven't seen it in a while, it just came out in 4K, by the way, which is really odd that a classic film like that's one classic film they'd transfer onto 4K. It's really odd that they would do that.
Yeah. Why does it need that much definition and clarity?
Yeah, I don't know.
Remastering.
Yeah. I mean, I would think Lawrence of Arabia would be more a 4K release from David Lean that you'd like to see.
Yeah. I'd almost like to see it grittier, Like it was almost like footage.
Yeah.
You were just in that world a little bit deeper, but
There
that's
you go.
me applying an aesthetic that's never going to exist, so it doesn't really matter.
All right, what's your number 6?
6 is In the Heat of the Night.
Okay, not on this list. All right.
And in quotes, he just says, "They call me Mr. Tips."
Yes. Great movie.
It is. It's weird that it spun off its own TV show years later.
Successful TV show. That's really rare when that happens.
I knew of the TV show long before I knew of the movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I was a kid when the TV show was on, and it seemed like it was one of those things that adults cared about.
Yeah.
I didn't watch it, so I was like, "Oh, that's
Yeah.
something really good." Kind of whatever. You're denying someone drugs. Ooh, that looks like the stuff over there. Because I couldn't stay up that late, and whatever the case is, and you'd see the commercials and promos. But that was my understanding of it until years later when I saw the movie.
Yeah.
Which was like, wow, they spun a TV show out of this. Like a couple decades later.
Well, we see it happening now. The TV shows coming off of movies and stuff of that nature. So it's like it happens every once in a while.
Which one's coming out that's going to be akin to this?
Well, akin to this, probably not.
Slim
in terms
Pickens.
of this level. Yeah. But this was great because, this is Poitier in his prime. And it's such an interesting film about racism that pulls no punches. And at the time when it was released, too, I think was it 67, 68, something like that.
Sounds about right.
So we're still knee deep in the civil rights struggle in this country.
Still are.
Yeah, well, true. Very much so. We still are. But you could always imagine if this had come out in 2019, oh boy, people would lose their shit. So I can't even imagine politically.
You think so?
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, people go nuts over Green Book. Both for it and against it. So and people going nuts about Black Panther being nominated for Best Picture. So many comments on my Twitter about that one tweet and claiming like, oh, it's a political decision. It's political.
Has there been any fallout from Black Klansmen or Sorry to Bother You?
No.
Those would be the ones that be more lighting the fuse type of movies.
No, but people feel like Black Panther, they didn't think it was even the best comic book movie of the year. And
I agree with that.
And so they're upset that this got nominated, and they think it was a political choice because it's a black cast and black filmmaker and blah, blah. And they think the Oscars are just using it to do whatever. And so it's interesting how people create these scenarios and conspiracies in their heads.
Yes, the Oscars are doing that. More than likely, that is a motivation within the whole scope of the choice.
Well,
it is.
Possibly, but by the voters. That's the thing. It's not like the Academy, like 5 people in a room are like, all right, we picked Black Panther. No, it's a bunch. It's from multiple. And this also, I think, stems from the fact that they have brought in members who are younger, members who are of different ethnicities,
sure,
and women. So there's a larger number of those voices in the room being heard now voting for these movies. So that's what it leads to, So,
yeah, but I mean, I'm just saying, like, I don't know how much of a percentage, but even those individuals that are voting, the calculus in their head is like, that's a movie that's representative of me.
Yeah.
And it was awesome. And why aren't we, if we're going to award something along those lines, why not choose that? It's just a different opinion.
I think it's ironic as hell that that's the best pick. That's the comic book movie that gets the first Best Picture nomination. It's incredible.
What, Dark Knight?
No. Black Panther. It's the first comic book movie that's ever been nominated for or superhero movies ever been nominated for Best Picture, like off a comic book.
Huh.
Yeah. I don't think, unless was Superman nominated for Best Picture? I don't think it was.
I'd have to go back and look.
Yeah.
Here, I can do that now. Well, hold on. Yeah, so you got your number 6?
Yeah, are we there? Yeah, are we?
Yeah, go for it.
Because you just did, In the Heat of the Night. Yeah, that scene where he slaps the guy in the, what do they call those garden things? The garden house, when he slaps the old.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. When he slaps the old guy, you're just like, oh, shit. And that's, once again, in the middle of the civil rights movement, having a black, strong actress slap an old white man. That must have been insane to watch at that time. People must have gone crazy.
Oh, I'm sure.
In the theater.
Yeah.
My number 7 was No Country for Old Men, which we talked about already. And then my number 6 is the punt from earlier, Casablanca.
Okay.
Right?
Start us off.
Yeah, this is one which has only gotten better in my book, having listened to the Cinephiles episode on Casablanca. Oh, thanks, Joe. It only reiterates my joy and reverence for this film. Iconic moments, in addition, the incredible tales from production mean this is a bona fide classic. Not quite my choice for number 1 on the AFI list, though. All right.
And Jeremy says about Casablanca, my mom's favorite movie.
Cool.
I told her I put it at number 1. Please don't tell her. Not a problem.
I wonder if she listens.
Obviously not.
Yeah,
obviously not. But at the same
out.
time, the way he travels is as nice as guy as he is, because he came out to the LA show. He's the one that got mugged.
Oh, that's him?
That's him.
Oh.
When he sent in his list, and it's like, all right, I hope you haven't been mugged in New York in a while. And I was like, whatever, LA jerks, I said at the end, or something just stupid. But I was like, all right, trust me. I bet you his mom is just as nice. She should listen to the show.
She should listen to the show.
She should listen to the show.
Jerry, he listens
and yes, we would rat you out to her if she listened to the show.
Absolutely.
Tough shit, bud.
And she would get it. He was great because he told us, like, he listens to us on repeat. Sometimes if he's got long nights, he will listen to the same episode over and over again.
He drives organs.
Yeah, organs around. Yeah.
So he's in the car just a ton.
Oof, I did that once. It was
Can you imagine listening to our bullshit on repeat?
Hey, people like us, man.
I'm not saying that. I'm just talking about the two of us.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I just listen to myself all day long. Oh, that would drive me nuts.
Yeah, so Casablanca, great stuff. Humphrey Bogart, Ingrid Bergman. Really enjoyable film. And I don't 100% like on the Cinephiles, I made a big case about this that I think she's a bit impatient with Humphrey Bogart and what she put him through, and understanding that he's a bit pissed about the whole situation. I mean, she left him high and dry in fucking Paris. He's going to be pissed off in Casablanca. You show up out of the blue with your new husband, who you thought was dead, and you were going to be with. Like, she tries to get away with everything here, And she's lucky that Humphrey is a chill dude, because that's, I don't know. I think it's crazy what she puts him through. All right, what's your number 5?
No problem. 5 is Unforgiven.
Okay, not on the list.
All right, Jeremy says, I love this movie, even though I end most of my viewings when Ned leaves to go back home.
What?
Shut up. No, you're crying. Really? Wow. That's when you drop off.
Wow. Yeah, because he doesn't want to see Ned get beat and killed.
True.
But you miss the great. You
miss the revenge. You miss the deconstruction of Westerns and creating a new version.
The whole point of the movie.
Yeah.
But and you also miss that scene when he's talking to the kid and he says, "We all got it coming, kid." It's such a great moment.
I mean, the little Bill is just like, not like this. Just, yeah, like this.
I was building a house. I don't deserve this.
Trust me, how many people have been at the other end of the gun and they said this to you and you've piously just sat there and gladly shot them right through the eyes?
Yep.
Yeah, it's just like the beauty of it, the simplicity. It was poetry. Yeah. Every time everybody got a nice ending. The anonymous other guys, they get gunned down.
Yeah.
Because we don't have time with them. There's no point creating stakes there.
Exactly.
But yeah, just I don't know, it's the luck of the draw type of, sometimes X marks the spot. What can I tell you?
Right. If that kid doesn't show up to Will Money's house to try to recruit him and not have the guts to go through with it, there's no way Will is involved in this whole situation. Mm-hmm. There's no way Will shows up in Big Whiskey, Wyoming. There's no way Will has that confrontation with Little Bill. Little Bill probably keeps lording over that fucking city
100%
until he's dead. Until he dies natural causes.
And all the prostitutes and whatnot are just left helpless.
Yep.
And now at the whim of any man that comes into their world.
Right.
There needs to be retribution. There needs to be justice. And they know they're not going to get it. And now if that fell through, they're never going to get it.
Yeah.
No one's on their side.
They cut her teats, man. All right. Number 5 off Joe's list is The Lord of the Rings, Return of the King.
Not on my list.
Okay. Not my favorite of the trilogy. You're telling me. But it is undeniable how impressive these films are. I'm still blown away that John prefers the Hobbit trilogy, but how can I question The Outlaw? Oh, very serious. You can question The Outlaw, trust me. From the score
He
to
was gritting his teeth while he said that, by the way.
From the score to the performances to the filmmaking in general, this crescendo is so supremely satisfying and deserving of all 11 Oscars.
Yeah, I still think I'm a bigger fan of the Two Towers, but I like this when it would go Two Towers this than Fellowship of the Ring.
I would agree with that.
I know some people that prefer Fellowship. God bless you. I don't need an origin story.
An hour and a half of running across mountains? Fuck that.
I don't mind that. I understand why it takes so long to get into and everybody interacts and they eventually start on their journey because it's going to last another 7 hours after that.
Yes, does it though?
It does. No, I'm saying like I enjoy
Doesn't have to.
for the purposes of encapsulating these books. Think all the crap they cut out.
I guess so. Yeah.
There's mountains of things that never made it in. What about the elderflower from blah blah blah? It's another instead of the talking tree. It's actually the wisest is the smallest. Bullshit like that.
Yikes.
But I never read the books, so
I did. I don't remember them. I read them, but I don't remember them.
I remember sitting down at one point and going, maybe I'll read those. And I saw one and I just wasn't into books that big yet.
Yeah.
If it was 2 years later, yes.
Yeah, you'd have jumped all over it.
Yeah. Like a year, 2 years later, I read all of it.
Oh, yeah. It's fantastic.
In a couple, in not that long a time. I read it every night for 2 to 3 hours a night. I was just so hooked on that thing.
And The Stand. Both of those. I tore through both of those. The Stand was intense. The Stand was intense, man.
I put that one down.
I wonder if they'll ever make a movie out of that one. That's really tough to make a movie.
It seems more like a TV show.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Which they've tried to do.
I think they have, yeah, you're right.
But if you did it on like HBO or Netflix or something that's a short run, it's like, it's only 4 episodes or 6 episodes.
Right.
Kind of like True Detective, same season length.
Yeah. Are you watching the new season?
Uh-huh.
I haven't started yet. We're waiting till the move is done, and then we're going to watch it together.
Okay.
Yeah, because I want to pay attention to it, and right now my mind can't pay attention to it. I think Lord of the Rings is Return of the King. I would agree with you. Two Towers is my favorite because that Helm's Deep battle is incredible.
It's amazing.
Yeah, that's the reason that I enjoy any of those battles. Are the reason I enjoy those movies.
That's one of the best movie battles in my opinion. It's just so amazing.
It's like 45 fucking minutes long. It's incredible.
And the best part is when fucking Deus Ex Machina
Yes.
Gandalf comes in and saves the day.
Yeah, the gray. Yeah,
You don't
the
even
white.
care.
No, you don't.
Usually in a movie, it's like, oh, they got so fucking lazy. You kidding me? Yeah, it just comes charging in, and the whole thing ends. That's a very Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Big action, and over. Move to the next. They do it at the end, like with the zombie at the end of Return of the King.
That's right.
The zombie force comes out.
The zombie army.
And they just run.
Or the spirits.
Literally right through the entire enemy,
Yeah.
and you're like, so they had that the whole time.
The army of the dead. Yeah.
Yeah, or the Eagles.
Yeah, the Eagles.
Thing.
Yeah.
It's like, but I don't mind because you've built this up for so long. It has to end at some point. Might as well make it this huge thing because everything else has been huge.
Well, the problem people have with The Hobbit, I get why people have issues with the Hobbit trilogy. For me, it's I like it because I don't deal with hobbits. It is Martin Freeman is the sole hobbit. Everyone else are essentially man dwarfs, and I'm cool with that. And the interactions they have, that is more relatable to me than these four little midget dudes, whining all through 9 hours. That's the thing for me, right? And I get it. People, the Eagles. Yes, I get the Eagles, but the reason you watch these movies is not for the quick solution. You watch these movies for the interaction between the characters and what they're trying to accomplish. You know what I'm saying? And so that's just my opinion.
What killed me about that with The Hobbit coming into it, unfortunately, if that movie was made first, it would have been made, in my opinion, like The Lord of the Rings, where when you show up and you meet that cast of characters in The Hobbit, they all have these weird eccentricities.
Yeah.
And they're fully realized from the moment you see them, and this is the guy that does this, and this is the guy, because they all show up at that house party, and they're like cleaning the dishes, and one guy's supposed to be the good-looking one who eventually gets, but you can tell, and there's the guy over and over and over again, whereas we slowly learned that about the group, as opposed to them showing up and be like, I'm the zany guy, I'm the, I'm the fat guy, I'm the this. It shouldn't have been 3 movies in my opinion.
That's fair.
2 maybe. Mm-hmm. Just that necromancer character is like, okay, what is this?
Yeah.
And then the
weird wizard with the bird poop in his hair. That's the one that kind of was like, I hated every scene with that word.
Yeah, he was the wizard of like the forest.
Yeah.
And dealt with animals and stuff like that.
That was the only annoying for me.
I believe he's a minor character in the book.
Yeah, they made him sure a bigger character.
Oh, you got 9 hours. You're filling, you're taking a 115-page pamphlet or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And making 3 movies out of it. It's pamphlet by Lord of the Rings size, as far as I know. Never read them. But I've always heard Hobbit is much smaller.
It is.
Than the huge version of Lord of the Rings.
It is.
And now you're trying to, squeeze 3 movies out of that.
Truth. All right, what's your number 4?
My number 4 is The Godfather.
That's a punt.
Okay.
All right.
What's your 4?
The Godfather Part 2.
The Deuce is not on this list.
Wow. Joe says a film that I have only seen twice, but is unmistakable in its brilliance. Absolutely right, Joe. Mm-hmm. It maybe falls a little lower in my estimation simply due to my age, but this film sets the standard for all sequels. It is stunning to think how well Coppola balances the 2 stories simultaneously whilst continuing to build the world around this family. I will let you 2 take the lead on praising this masterpiece. Well, you did a great job with that, Joe. Mm-hmm. That's exactly a great way to present that movie. If I was going to submit a description of the film, I could submit that to like any DVR or like cable service, so that when you're looking to see if you should watch it, that's the description that they put up there. That was a great description, Joe.
You just found him a new side hustle.
Listen, these are really well written. What he's doing here, I like it. Sometimes fans write the stuff and it's like run-on sentences and grammar issues and spelling. And
there have been a few times where, God bless them, international fans.
Oh, yeah,
and they're part of our Patreon,
right,
and like English is probably their 4th language, and they're way better at it than I am at Spanish.
Yeah,
I mean, I can hold my own. If somebody's talking to me, as long as they go slow enough, I can understand what you're saying. Mm-hmm. But when it comes rat-a-tat and be like, okay, I got to process words here.
Right.
In those instances, we're like, all right, well, that is a run-on sentence, or there should be a comma there because it loses meaning. When it runs this long, but they don't know that.
No.
Why should they?
Right. This is my favorite of the 2, Part 2, because it's so expansive.
It is.
And it lets you live in each of those worlds in the appropriate amount of time. And you get the weight of how those worlds are all connected. And it gives you the backstory to Vito so powerfully so that you can completely connect it in your mind to the Corleone you met first. That is really rare when they're able to essentially go back and retcon a guy's origin story or a character's origin story and make it feel natural that it organically becomes what you had already seen first in an older version. And they really did. De Niro's performance, he did his version of Vito Corleone that Brando had created, but made it his own. Was so incredibly gifted that he made it his own as an actor. And then you have Clemenza and Tessio, which is really funny. But then you have Michael's desire to, get more power, to move out the family into legitimacy, and realizes that the only reason he can't achieve that legitimacy that he wants is because the people in power look down on his approach to legitimacy, because they did crime within the rules, and he's doing crime by breaking the rules. Exactly.
It's like it's Joe Kennedy.
Yeah.
He broke all the rules.
Hell, he was a rum runner, for God's sakes.
And then insider trading and all that stuff. And then FDR put him in charge of, I think, the SEC.
Yeah.
Somebody asked him, why would you do that? And he's like, well, it's better to have, a thief catch a thief type of thing. You're like, yeah, it's true.
Sense.
He knows all the hustles.
Right.
And he would know where you can game the system the most.
Right.
He didn't take out all the, imperfections in the system.
Right.
Just some egregious ones.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like, unless the system legitimizes you, you'll always be on the outside.
Yeah, exactly.
Even if you technically have more power and clout, ultimately they have the most.
Yeah.
And
he has to set the senator up and all this kind of jazz just to achieve any semblance of power. So that leaves a bad taste in the mouth eventually as you move forward through the situation.
Yeah,
and,
he has to continue to operate outside of the line.
Exactly.
To get what everybody else is getting.
Right. And it costs him his family completely almost. All right, what's your number 3?
My 3 was a punt from earlier, which is Silence of the Lambs.
Okay.
Jeremy says, one of my absolute favorite movies. One of the most compelling performances Jodie Foster put to screen. One of the most unsettling characters in Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah.
Rightfully winning the Big 5 at the Academy Awards.
Oh, nice.
Rightfully, standing up for it. I like that.
Joe says, tense, enthralling, and genius. A landmark film for the thriller genre, which falls slightly lower on my list only because of the company it is surrounded by. Tremendous direction from Demi, along with a tour de force performances from both his leading actors. This film may not be as sweeping or as epic as other films before it. I'm thinking Ben-Hur and Bridge over the River Kwai, one of which I haven't seen. But in terms of rewatchability and iconography, I feel it deserved a place in my top 10. It's very eloquent, Joe. You're very eloquent, Joe. Yeah, I agree. I don't know what it is about this movie that I don't 100% run back to it all the time. I loved, we did it on the Cinephiles a few months ago, and it was great to watch it and talk about it. But it's not a film that when it comes on, I don't feel that impetus to watch it. And there's a Criterion version that's come out, and I won't buy it. And it's weird. I just won't buy it, even though I know that it's a good film. I just won't buy it.
It was on TBS, TNT, blah, 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 so long.
Oh, yeah, nonstop. Yeah.
That I've seen it so many times at various points that it doesn't have the same resonance that it once did.
Yeah.
Because the first time going through, when you really get to know the character of Jane Gum, that's unsettling.
Yeah.
I mean, just dancing around with the tuck. And I was young, and I was like, this is a thing?
This is uncomfortable.
This is a thing?
Yeah.
Really? I didn't know this was a thing, okay? And it just progresses from there. Later on, was she a great big fat person?
How is this the idiot from Monk? It's mind-blowing to me.
Dude,
sometimes to look at Ted Levine in that film and then everything else he's done.
He manages to become so many different types of characters. It's impressive.
He's great.
Because each one is indelible.
Yeah. When he's like, oh, trying to imitate her screaming and shit. You're just like, this is fucking weird.
It's creepy.
Yeah.
It still has its moments in, the tete-a-tete between Hannibal and Clarice.
Yeah.
Took me a half a second there, but he, so creepily says her name that it'll stick with you for a long time. I mean, look, it was so good that they're still spinning those out.
Yeah.
They would come out with another version to this day.
Well, there's the thing. They made a TV series out of that, just like we were mentioning
pretty good.
earlier. Yeah,
it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Especially for network, it got decently gory.
Yeah.
But more often than not, it was like the threat of what eventually he would do.
Yeah.
Which is psychologically worse.
Yeah.
Having to watch it.
The lamb stopped screaming, Clarice.
Yeah, but I mean, I've gone back and I saw Manhunter because of this movie, and it's great. But I didn't know it existed before this movie came out.
I even like most of Red Dragon.
So do I.
Yeah, most of it I like.
Yeah,
it cops out in a couple spots, but overall, if it's on, I will watch like
Certain-
half an hour to an hour of it.
The flaming wheelchair scene, I think,
Yeah.
is better in Red Dragon.
Yeah.
It's good, and I'm not taking away from Manhunter.
Right. No, I agree.
It's pretty gnarly in Manhunter. Red Dragon was like, well, you know what? We could spend more time with it and then catch it when it does this. And
Right.
It's not egregious.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good movie. I didn't hate it. The reviews going into it were just like, meh. And I'm like, it's better than that.
Yes. Agreed.
It's not as taut as, if you're comparing to Silence of the Lambs, that's almost unfair.
Right.
Because that was never meant to be a series, even though it came from a book series.
Yeah.
It was just a one-off.
There was only two. There was Red Dragon and then Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah, but
as
a
book
decade
series.
apart.
Right, exactly. So it wasn't meant to do one thing or the other. All right, my number 3, or Joe's number 3 rather, is Schindler's List.
That is a punt.
Wow.
Very true.
Okay, which number
Nice.
2?
Wow, 2 is Lawrence of Arabia.
This is number 2 as well. Lawrence of Arabia.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Jeremy says, my dad and I went to a showing of this in the oldest theater in Manhattan, a single-screen theater built in 1920. Probably one of the greatest days of my life. I learned the lesson: nothing is written.
That's awesome.
That is awesome. That's a cool
Nothing is written.
I know he's got a nice little something for each movie, like Amadeus.
Yeah.
I'd never say too many notes. I like that in the
Yeah.
description. You know, that does, if you can sometimes, like the whistling on the River Kwai, you can boil it down, the essence of the movie, to one simple thing, and then it immediately just dives you right into that entire movie.
Yep, agreed.
It just pulls you in. That's, hey, look, the two of them together create their own side business. Burt Whistle comes up with the beautiful structure.
Yes.
And then Metz comes in with the great little tag at the end.
Boom.
You're an ad agency, guys.
You get it done, boys.
We get, you want to say 10 or 15%?
I would say
10%?
20.
20.
20.
All right.
We brought them together. We
Well,
should
we
get 20.
created the idea.
Yeah.
I think 20 might be too low at this point.
Oh, fair.
You know, we're doing a
35.
lot of the work here, guys.
35 sounds good.
35?
Yeah.
Let's just talk.
Oh, yeah, right.
Let's just talk. There's no point in talking numbers now.
Since there's 4 people involved, I feel like 25% each seems fair. I think that seems fair.
It does. But then once you factor in our costs, and
yeah.
our overhead,
We're going to need more. We're definitely going to need more.
I think we need 70 just to clear,
Just to clear.
just to make good.
But look, you get free live tickets to every show we do. That's
Exactly.
for sure.
And 20% off T-shirts.
That's right, 20%. Don't push it. Joe said, Lawrence of Arabia, just missing out on number 1 for me, in my opinion. Sorry, let me read it correctly. Just missing out on number 1 for me. In my opinion, Lawrence of Arabia embodies the traditional meaning of Best Picture Oscar in length, grandeur, and mastery. This epic leaves you in awe of the sheer effort and skill taken to create one of the greatest films ever. The Blu-ray doesn't do justice to the exquisite shots and scenes that decorate this film. I love this film and can only dream of the day I get to see it on the big screen. Maybe John is reading this and can continue to emphasize why this should at least make the top 3. Well, brother, it's 2 on both the lists, so it's going to make the top 2. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
And
It's got
what
a shot at number 1, then.
Yeah, possibly number 1. But I will tell you this, in my honest truth, you will not fully get it until you watch it on the screen. There's just something about seeing David Lean's direction and the cinematography of the film and the way he sets the camera for the shots that you cannot enjoy fully until you see it in the theater. I'm very lucky to live in LA and have seen it at least 6 times in the theater since I lived here.
Yeah, no, it plays.
All the time.
There's a nice kind of rotation of great classics that should be seen on big screen here in LA.
Yep.
So as long as you stay peeled, it's like, oh, this theater for a pocket is doing Lawrence of Arabia, but next year I just did the fucking Lawrence of Arabia.
Lawrence
I
of
did
La Brea.
the Sex and the City, whichever, when they
Lawrence
go
of
to something.
Arabia.
I heard that was one of the jokes, and it made me groan. And
Yeah.
it's always stuck in my head because it's just like, oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
That's fucking brutal.
Lawrence of Arabia. Yeah.
Yeah, I have to assume.
It's probably Samantha.
Yeah, I would guess that's the character that says it.
Yeah.
Really snide, and it just boom, hard cut to, Carrie or somebody else.
Yeah.
And just like, I already know the setup, the punch, the direct. Oh, that's brutal. Now I lost my point. 'cause I
Oh,
got
sorry,
stuck.
buddy.
The
Lawrence
stuck
of
there.
Arabia it's in rotation.
Oh yeah. So one year it's at this theater, the next year it's at that one.
Right.
But it manages to come back here amongst I'd say like 20, 25 other films.
Yeah.
They all seem a nice little rotation.
One of the losses for me over the last 7 months, 8 months dating my girlfriend is that I haven't had those nights to go to see double features of the films like I used to at the Arrow or the Egyptian, because like every night that I have available to me, I want to spend with her. That I'm not recording or I'm not working on stuff, I like to spend with her. But I think once we move in, then that will open up. Now it'll be like, well, we live together, so I can take a night to go see a double bill of a classic film at the Arrow or the Egyptian. Because, dude, that shit's life. That's lifeblood to me. I love it so much, and it's $11 for 2 movies. You can't argue that.
No.
MoviePass used to have it with them, so I would even go for $9 a month. I could go see those movies, the double bills, without paying anything extra, and it was great. So
I still get emails every month from MoviePass.
Oh, they released today, as we're recording, like a new system now, new pricing plan. Which, if you live in the Midwest, where the movies are cheaper, you can pay $9.95 and see 3 movies a month, or you can pay $14.95 and get 3 movies a month, including IMAX or 3D with no extra charge. Now, if you live in the major cities, it's $14.95 for 3 movies, and then $24.95 to see 3 movies in IMAX 3D or what have you. So I think it's just like, I said it on Movie Talk. I said it feels like a bad relationship where the person keeps coming back going, no, I've changed. I've fixed things.
It's a fucking coupon book at this point.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all it is. You're just getting 25% off, 30% off at 3 movies.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
That's all you're getting. That's not really much of a deal.
Exactly.
Hey, they'll throw in a small popcorn. Butter's 25 cents extra, though. Motherfucker. This pass is the worst.
MoviePass sucks.
It does. Every month you see it and you're like, man, you guys are still trying. Good for you.
Yeah, I know.
Good for you. Hey, Little Mac, you got knocked down and you're not getting back up.
That's right.
You're not. You're failed. You failed. You had a moment. That moment is gone, unfortunately.
They misunderstood the "I can do this all day" from Captain America.
Never knock me down, Ray. No, I'm sorry. You're not Raging Bull. It's not the same thing. It is not even close.
Not even close. All right, what's your number 1, man?
Number 1 is Schindler's List.
Okay, so the pun from number 3. Okay.
Yeah. One of the most beautiful, tragic, inspiring true stories ever brought to screen. Spielberg's undisputed masterpiece.
Yeah, man. Agreed.
It is.
It's the greatest film he's ever directed. I don't care what anybody says. It's the greatest film he's ever directed. You can love all the other films. You can enjoy all the other films a million times. But Schindler's List removes all of Spielbergisms and presents to you a very raw, honest portrayal even with slight comedic
You still
tones
don't
at
take
times.
Jaws over this?
No. Not even close.
Because I think that would be a departure, I believe, when we've done Spielberg in the past.
Yeah.
It was Jaws at number 1.
Well, you know how it is. You kind of
It's a fluid
change and as a person and stuff. I love Jaws to pieces. It's probably number 2, but this is just untouchable to me.
Well, in terms of Oscar caliber movie,
Yeah, and that's what I mean.
yes. In terms of Spielberg, I don't know.
Right, favorite is different than best.
Because there's also certain aesthetics of Spielberg, and the movies that help cement those aesthetics are worth a lot to me.
Yeah.
So you got to put that in context to Schindler's List, which was a departure from what we not assume or whatnot, but the usual output of work the man, gives to the audience.
I kept waiting for him to cop out through that whole movie, and he never did.
Yeah, he never did.
That was incredible.
On this one subject, I understand 100% why you can't.
Exactly. Joe says to consider the sheer audacity to shoot this in the same year as Jurassic Park is one thing, let alone to succeed on every level with both films. This is nothing short of impeccable from Spielberg. Nice
I use whilst.
Okay.
It doesn't come up in Microsoft Word for some reason. It's a word.
Whilst a harrowing film to rewatch, you cannot help but marvel at the performances and emotion that is delivered in this film. For me, the deserved winner from 1993. Oh, there you go. I agree.
Yeah, no, it's excellent.
Yeah,
It really is.
All of it. Liam, we've talked about it many times on the show. All right, the number 1 film on my end is The Godfather.
Okay, the pun from earlier.
Yeah, the pun from earlier. Joe says, the pinnacle of Oscar films. Whilst Lawrence of Arabia cannot be beaten for historical spectacle, Francis Ford Coppola entices you into the empire of the Corleones, and you savor every moment. It edges out part 2 for me due to Brando's embodiment of Vito and the memory of seeing it for the first time and being so truly blown away that it fulfilled the expectations and hype surrounding it. All right, Joe, I'm going to bring this up. You can't put 4 ands in one sentence, so work on that. Not a moment wasted in what I believe to be the #1 Best Picture winner. I have a feeling this may fall short in your relist to its successor, but I can't argue with that decision. Just my personal preference. Well said.
And that pointing out the 4 ands is us earning our 95% split.
95% exactly right.
Yeah.
So between you and Jeremy, 5% is good enough, I think, for both of you.
I think so.
2.5 each.
Anyway. Here's what Jeremy said.
What does Jeremy say?
Always liked this movie more than the second one. Maybe an unpopular opinion, but it's the one I enjoy rewatching the most. Look, I know quite a few people that think the first one is better than the second one.
Yeah.
It's a tough choice. I always choose the second one because that's the one I just enjoy, go back to more often than not.
Yeah.
But I understand, as do you, the lore of the first one and why people, hold it in such high esteem.
Yeah.
It's an excellent movie and brings you into a world like mob movies weren't like this, where you'd see the inner workings and how they dealt with politics or with the movie producer.
Yeah.
That's just unsettling. Horsehead, boom, right there.
And a lot of these stories, Mario Puzo says, was taken from real life. Variations.
Yeah, he alters, changes a few details. So you can't trace it back to one individual.
The singer is obviously Sinatra, and what Sinatra went through before From Here to Eternity, when he had kind of lost his popularity, he had tried to kill himself. It wasn't happening for him. And Ava Gardner reached out to Roy Cohn and convinced Roy Cohn to give Sinatra the role in From Here to Eternity. There are other stories that says Sinatra did other things to get, with his help, the mafia guys that he knew helped him get the role through Roy Cohn. So there's all kinds of rumors about that. And in fact, Sinatra, after the movie came out, saw Puzo in a restaurant and punched him, tried to get at him because of what he did. And it was hilarious. Or if I remember the story correctly, Puzo was introduced to Sinatra, and Sinatra didn't stop eating and told him to fuck off because of what he'd written in the book. So, you never know. You never know what you're creating, but if it works, then it's obviously a classic on so many levels. And one of the reasons is it feels so authentic in that way.
Did I ever tell you you ever heard the Rickles and Sinatra story? As Sinatra tells it, it was so. They're friends.
Yeah.
And Sinatra's out at this restaurant. Rickles walks up and was like, "Hey, what's going on? Hey, listen, I'm with a date. Come over. She'll be impressed. Come over. You know me. We shake,
right.
Whatever. Make me up to be a big deal." And he's like, "All right, fine. Let me just finish what I'm doing here, and I'll be over and do it." Don goes back, sits down, whatever, middle of the meal. Sinatra comes over and, "Hey, Don, what's going on? Can't you see him eating here, Frank?" And just gives him the hi-hat. Only the way Rickles can. "Can't you just see his face? Can't you see him eating here, Frank?
Yeah.
What are you doing?" And Sinatra was like, huh? Just kind of looked at him, was like, "All right," and just walked away. He threw a haymaker. I hope that story's true.
I'm sure it is. Sinatra tells it. So, yeah.
I want to say it was on the Tonight Show.
Yeah, I think it was on the Carson Tonight Show, yeah. Do you have any honorable mentions? I have 5 here.
I believe I have 3.
Okay.
And his ordering, he's saying number 11 would have been Deer Hunter, 12 Moonlight, 13 Driving Miss Daisy. My brother cannot believe that this did not make the top 10 considering his best friend's grandmother wrote the screenplay.
Oh.
Shout out to Jim.
Wow, shout out to Jim. Driving Miss Daisy wouldn't even make it in my top 80.
I haven't seen it since it came out.
But respect to your friend, Joe. Respect to your brother, Joe. No offense. We just have our opinions. I have King's Speech, a film I love despite not deserving the Oscar that year. Damn. Probably Social Network he felt deserved it.
No, I'd still take King's Speech.
Yeah. Braveheart, so hard to leave this off the list, but I think the historical inaccuracies just drove it out of number 8.
Well, he's from the United Kingdom, so he can make that.
That's a fair point.
He knows better than
that bad.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't find out it was pretty bad on the historical accuracy side until years later.
Yeah. The trouble with Scotland is it's full of Scots. Moonlight. Ooh, Moonlight.
Well, it is.
A film which is so beautifully shot and bold that I can only hope it will climb higher over time. Rocky, simply for Stallone's double Oscar nod. And Forrest Gump. Not a perfect film, but Hanks is perfect. All hail Tom Hanks. Well, these are great things.
Yeah, they're all excellent movies. It's an Oscar list.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's, everybody listening more than likely has one that definitely would have made their list that didn't make either of the two of those.
Agreed.
And the two of you fend off the attacks that you may get online.
Good luck with that.
Nobody really attacks. Everybody's pretty chill.
Yeah. Although some of the Black Panther discussions in our top 10 group have gotten a little heavy.
Oh, I haven't checked in.
Yeah, I haven't. I haven't
2 days.
enjoyed that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They get a little heavy. Guys, you're allowed to like what you like. You're allowed to not like what you like.
Yeah. Let's
and
keep it civil.
Let it be. Yeah, exactly.
We're all adults.
All right, we're going to combine these lists.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. So number one, what? Lawrence of Arabia, then? Shockingly enough.
Since it's both, yeah,
Both are number twos?
go for it. I'll do
Okay.
little drums.
Okay. Okay, so Lawrence of Arabia. All right. What do you...
Schindler's, it's what, 1-3 versus 1-3? Or no, Godfather for you is 1, right?
Right.
It's 4 on this list.
Okay.
Schindler's is 1, that's your 3?
Yeah.
So I'd say Schindler's.
Okay. Wow.
And then Godfather.
Okay. Where's Godfather Part 2 on your list?
Not on.
Oh, wow. That's a shock. All right. All right. Ooh.
How is it a shock at this point? We've already discussed both lists.
You're right. I just forgot. All right. What's next?
So that's 1, 2, 3?
Yep.
I got Silence of the Lambs 3.
That's number 8 for me.
Do we have any other
No Country for Old Men, right?
at 8?
I have it at 7.
Yeah.
Any Lord of the Rings on your list?
No. Unforgiven, no for you.
No.
Casablanca was lower. I'm
Casablanca 6 on my list.
9.
Okay.
So I would say Silence of the Lambs then next.
Because number 4 on your list or 3 on your
3.
list? Oh, yeah. Okay.
The combo is higher than any other combo because I figure we just go combos at
Yep.
this point.
I like it. Silence of the Lambs. All right. Then what?
And your No Country was what? 7?
7.
Casablanca was what?
6.
So does 6-9 beat 7-8? I think it's because it's a wash.
Yeah.
6 is higher.
Fair enough. Casablanca it is?
Casablanca and then No Country.
Okay. All right. So then we go next highest.
I think so. We don't have any other commonality.
All right. So we're at the number 7. I have at number 4, The Godfather Part 2.
Go for it.
Okay. What do you have? What's the highest you next?
5.
Okay. What's yours?
Unforgiven.
Okay. I'm going to do that because I have a 5 as well, but we just put Godfather Part 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. One last one.
And number 5, what do you
which
have?
is number 5, Lord of the Rings, Return of the King.
That makes it.
Wow.
My next highest is 6.
Wow. All right. Lord of the Rings haunts me to this day. All right. Okay. The top 10 Best Picture winners on the re-list. Yeah.
Realist at number 10.
Lord of the Rings, Return of the King.
Coming in at number 9.
Unforgiven.
At number 8.
The Godfather Part 2.
In the 7 spot.
No Country for Old Men.
At number 6.
Casablanca.
Coming in the 5 spot.
Whoa, wait a minute. Have I messed this up? Hold on. I'm sorry. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, let's wait. Sorry, Matt. Let's do this again. Let me see if I got this right. Lawrence of Arabia, Schindler's List, The Godfather, Silence of the Lambs. Ah, that's what I forgot. Oh no, Silence of the Lambs, Casablanca, No Country for Old Men, No, The Godfather, Unforgiven, Lord of the Rings, Return of the King. Did I miss any of yours?
Schindler's, Lawrence of Arabia, Silence of the Lambs, Godfather, Unforgiven, No Country, Casablanca.
Okay, then it's my fault. We need one more, and that one more is your number 6, I guess. What's your number 6?
You got Godfather 2 on there?
Yes, I do. That's number 7.
My number 6 is In the Heat of the Night.
All right. Let's do this again. Maybe I'll edit this out.
It's a re-list of the re-list.
The top 10 Best Picture winners on the re-list. Yeah. All right.
At number 10.
In the Heat of the Night.
9.
The Lord of the Rings, Return of the King.
At number 8.
Unforgiven.
Now at 7.
The Godfather Part 2.
Coming in at number 6.
No Country for Old Men.
At number 5.
Casablanca.
In the Quattro.
The Silence of the Lambs.
At number 3.
The Godfather.
Our second to last movie is.
Schindler's List.
And finally, the number 1 Best Picture winner is.
Lawrence of Arabia.
There it is.
Aqaba. Great lists. A lot of fun. Really appreciate everyone contributing to this one and picking the topic and then setting in your list. A lot of fun with that one.
Yeah, thank you to Mark Menchaca, Jeremy Metz, and Joseph Birtwhistle, or Joe Birtwhistle, whichever you prefer.
Joe B.
Joe B. I like that. Joe B. What's going on?
Hello, I'm Joe B.
And thanks to all our patrons. Once again, we would not be here without all of you. If you want to donate, it is patreon.com/the top 10 with the number 10.
Yep.
And if you haven't gotten your tickets for King's Place left, there's still a couple seats left. We're so close.
I know, we're so close.
So we've been saying that, but the trickle is like, yes, we're going to hit the finish line.
Yeah.
But at this point, it's like we twisted an ankle in the last 100 yards.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Stop waiting, everybody.
We were sprinting and leading this race, and then now we're still leading the race.
We're still leading.
But it's like, oh shit, people are coming up behind them. You know, it's like the Iron Man. Somebody fell when they round a corner or something. Like, oh, dude, that dude's already swam plus biked 20-something miles. Or 100-something miles and then ran 20-something miles. Dude, you're so close to the end. Yeah, we've got the flights, we got the hotels, we got work visas, we got all of it.
We got all of it.
Let's sell this fucker out.
Come on, people.
Kingsplace.co.uk. We'll see you guys on February 23rd at 8 p.m.
Stop waiting. Come get your tickets.
Yeah.
All right, thanks everybody for listening. That's Matt Nost. I am John Roca. You can follow Matt Nost at Matt Nost. Follow me at The Roca Says. He already said the Patreon stuff, and I guess that's good to go. Come and continue the conversation on the Facebook group. It's always great to have the back and forth with you guys on there as well. All right, we'll see you next time for another episode of The Realist.
The Realist.